What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 15 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Aranessa Saltspite campaign. So as we saw last time, Aranessa's family reunion resulted in a resounding success as we were able to acquire the Kraken's Bane and destroy the Norscan army that opposed us. Aranessa's army was able to show off a little bit further as she took on a few dwarfen territories, culminating in the capturing of the eponymous Barrack Var of the Barrack Var dwarfs, which we will hopefully trade to the ogres so that they don't hate us just as much as they do. I'm kind of regretting getting that money from Clan Pestilence now because, well, they're a little bit upset about it. Minus 55 from Pestilence and Norn, and that's with Pestilence destroyed, so yeah. Anyway, this episode we're going to continue our attack on the South Confederacy here, as well as continuing all of our attacks up here. We have regained some of the ground we lost and are hoping to make more gains, which will continue as we get our new ghostly army on the field shortly. Exciting times to come. Before we get started on Maddie's battle, who's moving in up next, the threshold has once again been reached, so this episode will be an hour long, and the offer still stands 250 likes and 40 comments, and the next episode will similarly be an hour. Also, between the episodes, I went ahead and took a few, or added a few names. These sirens are now Maddie's baddies, and these are the Slayerines. The Forlorn Fusiliers have been added to the handgunners. Fantastic name. And then we have Maddie's laddies, together with Maddie's baddies. Maddie's laddies as the deck dropper bombers, and Eyes of Aranessa as the other one. I like the idea of Aranessa keeping an eye on every one of her armies. You know, trust but verify, but also don't trust that much. I've also decided that in this particular army, we're not going to do the boarding crew. I've got another couple of army ideas where there will be a ton of boarding crews, so we're going to send them there instead, simply because these guys don't share an upgrade path with anything here, but the Sirens share one with the deck droppers, so it makes more sense efficiency-wise to do that sort of thing. Anyway, we're going to get this battle started. I don't think it'll be that difficult, despite what it says about the Pyrrhic victory, but mostly I want to try out our brand new NECROFEX Colossus, the Gallows Giant. Away he goes, let's make him the star of the show. Alrighty, here we go. We finally got our first NECROFEX, and it's the frickin' amazing looking Gallows Giant. I do wish that these zombies that were on top of it in the crow's nest and on the ship hull section, I guess the entire thing is a ship hull section, but you know what I mean, were just like scorched like the Gallows Giant itself. But still, what a glorious model. Can't wait to see it and do its thing. Oh, we already got scorched zombie bits right here. These guys should really follow that sort of thing. But anyway, since this is this NECROFEX's debut, we can try to do our best to make sure that it gets a lot of screen time. I'm going to march it forward a little bit, though try to stay within the overlapping firing lines where the deck gunners can support it if it needs to. Obviously, sufficient focus fire from a decent amount of enemy handgunners and crossbows would be able to bring a single entity down, and the AI does have a tendency to focus single entities down. I guess just like a player would, but nonetheless. Alrighty, well, we're going to start the battle off regardless. The mortars and the handgunner flyers annoying the enemy as best they can. Already 38 kills racked up on those and deck droppers with handguns. While they still have more powder active, that 73 missile strength is pretty darn nasty. I could have probably assassinated the Lord, but then that would probably mean moving too close to the enemy line. Anyway, we're going to annoy the enemy a little bit, so I'm just going to speed through it until they're ready to move towards our NECROFEX, and there we go. They look like they're sufficiently annoyed, so here they come. We'll continue annoying the enemy with some nice volleys from our handgunners. There we go, a couple volleys and down to half HP from a single volley from both units on those crossbows. That was actually pretty darn nice. Gotta love that extra powder, more powder, black powder aplenty is the one. Alright, a few more volleys before the enemy gets in range of the NECROFEX, though it looks like some of its little mini units are firing already, and it's lining up a shot. There we go. And a little bit of fire goes a long way as the halberdiers are burnt and damaged. We also got to remember that the weakness to fire application could be combined with the fire damage from the deck dropper bombers as well. Ooh, I like the smoke from the barrel as well. Very, very nice. Too bad we can't have any... Well, maybe we'll get some warp fire throwers. Get some more fire units. There we go, keep it going. I think you have plenty of ammunition to be getting on with. It doesn't seem like the flamethrower uses a ton of ammunition, and there we go, point blank. Keep it up, and how much damage have you done? 71 kills so far, and the battle has just started, and 10,000 damage. And it looks like it can certainly do damage. It isn't a long-range NECROFEX like all the other NECROFEXs are, so it can't replace artillery pieces. But it can certainly act as an anchoring point in your line, and combine nicely, as I said, with other fire units. If we could get a Banner of Eternal Flame, maybe we can make this Maddie's Marauders a partial fire army. Anyway, and the enemy continues trying to charge forward towards the NECROFEX, and it looks like these halberdiers will make it. However, we're going to summon some units of zombies to block the enemy off a little bit, and allow the NECROFEX to continue doing its thing and burninating its way through the ranks of infantry. Piles of infantry, probably not the best type of unit to bring against the giant fire ship monstrosity, artillery monster, whatever. They're kind of hard to describe. Alrighty, get a few more shots in there. Kind of interesting that it reloads and spins its barrels like that for the flamethrower, just as it would normally do with the, oh yeah, the point blank stuff as well. There we go. oh, that poor infantry. Oh, I can't wait to build a few more of these guys. And the Rotting Leviathans as well. We just really need to kick off our economy a little bit more, but glorious. Yeah, you keep picking up those spears and whatnot. I love you, NECROFEX. And that's a lot of additional zombies coming down to help the matter out. And it looks like NECROFEX has dropped to about half HP and disgorged some zombies, so we're going to just back it off while they block off the enemy. We do have an invocation of Nehek up on it, so it should heal up nicely, while the zombies continue holding off the spears and halberds and whatnot, and the rest of our units begin to fire. The enemy moves into range of all of our handgunners, and, well, I guess they were in range of the deck gunners already. And I sincerely doubt they're going to make their way up that hill. It's nice that we can have the NECROFEX sort of run around with the Vampire Fleet Captain and the Admiral. I mean, Maddie and Henrietta here. Alright, back up over half HP, but probably could use a little bit more healing. And we've noticed all of the crossbows essentially trying to focus the Gallows Giant down this entire time. So, well and fully expected. Anyway, the enemy infantry lines are continuing to get completely gunned down as they approach. The enemy has not really been able to achieve anything other than damage the Gallows Giant. And you gotta love watching infantry charge into these masses of gunfire as well. If we could get some rattling guns and some warp fire throwers, maybe some of the dwarfen units as well, chaos dwarfen units, just gotta figure out how to ally with them. And just to make some glorious gun lines. Alright, and Gallows Giant is... Oh, we've started to see the healing cap now. Might need a couple more heals, but at the same time, these are all shots not being taken by the rest of our army. Gonna back it off a little bit more, but I do believe the battle should be just about ours. There's not really much left. And the enemy, one of our Cyrene units, specifically the Slayerines, have charged in to do some slaying and chasing, as these poor crossbows are gonna get surrounded and have no chance of even slightly and damaging them. And I do believe these units are charging in only to turn. They're probably not even going to get another volley off, and it looks like they're actually heading over there to try to damage the Gallows Giant more. Kind of foolish as the dead gunners, the mortars, and the handgunners all hit them, and I think that unit is done. Very, very nice. And yeah, we have gotten this particular map quite a few times in this particular campaign, but it does work quite well for us as this hill is very nice for our lines. I remember getting this map a lot when playing the Skaven and Maikit campaign a lot, and for the same exact reason, I very much enjoyed it. Anyway, one more flamethrower blast for the Gallows Giant, or from the Gallows Giant, and the battle is ours. And very, very nice. A decisive victory. I'm not sure we lost any units. Maybe a tiny bit somewhere, but doubtful. Alrighty, not too bad at all, and we even got a Razor Standard for our trouble, which is quite nice. I also want to check something. Are we able to... We're able to put the hold banner of Militia on the Gallows Giant and NECROFEXs in general. Damn. That is gonna be quite nice. The ammunition I don't think it really cares about, but the reload time reduction plus 20% is gonna be pretty crazy. 42k damage and 333 kills. A little bit of damage on it itself, but it did bullet sponge up a bunch of enemy arrows or crossbow bolts, so that functioned fairly well in not having damage taken from the rest of the army, and we can easily heal a big old single entity with invocations of Nehek, so I'm happy there. I don't know whether the Razor Standard belongs in this army as opposed to another army. We'll keep it here for now, mostly because I'm too lazy to move it. Occupy the place, and very good. Alright, enemy killed in battle, enemy killed in battle. There's that Razor Standard and Courageous. Let's move off of Parley's stance as we no longer require it. And, ooh, Mysterious Island here as well. Very nice. Alrighty, Maddie, keep moving through Haunting Horror. Oh, no, you should get a Vasti first. And nobody will really benefit from higher ranks at the current time, but it'll eventually change. What do we get? Melee defense, leadership, and speed for the flyers. Too bad there's no missile resistance as part of this. The poor flyers would really, really like it. But oh well. Not a huge deal either way, and I'm probably still going to get Forger on you, mostly because you have so many buffs to rating that we may as well just lean as much into it as physically possible. You have leveled up as well, and I don't know why I'm leveling you all right now, but it's happening, so there we are. We get Pyromaniac on you via going through this line, just to get Blunderbuss and make you hit a little bit harder, so why not? Well, then again, the extra ammunition and the various buffs would be nice. Too bad the Scuppering doesn't apply to artillery monsters, because NECROFEXs are artillery monsters, yeah, but don't count as artillery for the purpose of buffs, which is a bit of a shame. But oh well. And the Gallows Giant, because of his flamethrower in particular, probably doesn't care that much about it, but the other NECROFEXs, I'm sure, would. Anyway, we're gonna go, let's max out ammo stacks, but then I think we'll go through Pyromaniac on you afterwards. Herald Kelp Claw, you're trying to get Utility Belt, but keep the Powder Keg for now for that passive damage buff. Oh wait, no, that's Dead Eyes. Powder Keg gives us more uses of more powder. More everything. Alrighty. Good. Diplomacy, just to double check it, I doubt that there's anything that we care about. Subtle Torture, nah, that's going to piss off Lokier Fellheart, and we may want to ally with them. Once again, I would like a few of those sea-themed Charybdises in our army. It would be nice. And we're not going to peace out with anybody else here, so yeah. And that'll stay as it is. Have we moved everybody? Yes, indeed we have. Who is Margaret Sharp? Oh, you're one of the new heroes for the Ghostly Army. Alright, well, we can't do anything with you. We got a little bit more cash, but I fear that we can't afford to spend it. Simply because we're going to be building or upgrading a bunch of stuff next turn or over the next couple of turns, and at the same time I fear that our income will drop to 0 as soon as everything's built, so yeah. Anyway, skip. Damage building, probably skip. Outpost available, no, that's with Monte Castello, who I fear will betray us because of our attitude. But, well, oh, they don't even like the attack on the South Confederacy. Okay, well, that's their problem, not ours. Or it might, for a little bit of time, be our problem, but let's say not for very long, most likely. Alright, now can anybody attack us? And let's hope that the ogres don't get pissy right now, because I really want to get that settlement traded to them, fix their relationship, and get those ogre units. Lead belchers, crushers, stone horns, a lot of good stuff. Technology researched great and come from ports that, I'm willing to bet that counterbalance to the income drop, at least to some degree, from the new units. We need to capture a settlement. This one? Okay, yeah. Still learning the geography of the old world map. I mean, not so much the geography as the settlements and their names. The geography itself is more or less familiar. You're gonna go raiding stance, you're gonna move up here. I don't think anybody can stop you. Let's see who else can do things. And Nessie, you're gonna go into parlay stance, and you're going to hit Doc Karaz with an auto-resolve so that we can trade Beric Var to the ogres. Minus 73. Alright, auto-resolve that. Nice. A little bit more damage than I'd like, but oh well. And you are good. Oh, I actually could have sacked those. Nah, whatever. Build the Lagoon of Drowned Sailors and we'll trade it, and then we may head to Bereg de Wazbeg, or I may ignore it and head down here instead, depending on what I'm feeling like doing at that time. Let us see how much Beric Var is worth. Beric Var, Ogre's 16.9, not a lot. Not a lot at all. Would you be willing to break... Let's try this. Break trade agreement with Legion of Setup. Yeah. Yeah, you would. Alright, let's do that. The reason why I'm doing that is because Arcan doesn't like the Legion of Setup, so might as well keep these guys a little bit friendlier with each other. Alright, moving to minus 34, a little bit better with the ogres. If we can give them this entire territory, perhaps they'll be happy enough with it. And we're gonna have to wait and see. Maddie. You're gonna need another siren. Well, we'll have to wait until we can actually raise one. I'm sure we'll come upon one sooner rather than later. Let's grab that mysterious island for you. And then let's move down to Myrmidons and complete the destruction of this faction. For once, let's get Mushroom Stew. Ooh, Mathland's Blessing. Nice find. 25% physical resistance for 10 turns. Might allow us to auto-resolve the relatively weak remnants of this particular faction. We shall see. Oh, we've also got upgrades to do, and... My game crashed. Okay, let's try that again. We haven't been getting too many crashes, but who knows. Hopefully there isn't something bugged about this mysterious island in particular or something. We did Mushroom Stew, and that gave us... it gave us a different thing. Curse of Cannibalism and an Enchanted Shield. I would have preferred Mathland's Blessing there, but oh well. And we can continue moving. This is where it crashed last time, moment of truth. Now we're looking okay, not sure why, but at least we're back in action. Let's keep on going. Harry Halfmast, you, sir, are going to be raiding right here, if I can... select you. Like so, a raid, and yeah, you can't reach the place, but that's okay. How much do you give us for raiding? Not as much as I'd like. But well. Alrighty, gang, Presser Sea Legs, you've got buildings to be building, and oh, you can actually stay in March stance. I don't know why I took you out of it. And Trantio. And we have another pirate fort to build here, assuming we can afford it after all this stuff. Bullion coffers, Buccaneers Tavern, and pirate fort. Guess we could temporarily build a tree and noose here. It does still have to grow to tier 5, and I don't think we care about anything else at the current time, so yeah, tree and noose it is. Alrighty. And then we'll have to try to make sure we build that depth guard building pretty much everywhere, because we're gonna need it for that capacity. Anyway, you're heading back out into the water to get Miragliano. Shipwreck. Pretty sure shipwrecks have a battle, right? Oh, I wish I remembered which one. I mean, I guess we could sail you there in March Dance and then see if you can select it or not. Anyway, Alana and Charlie, you're gonna hit the Slaneshi here, but we'll do that in a little bit. I'd like to complete the rest of what we're doing. Trusty Montford, I'd like you to transfer your troops over to O-Bones McDonald. Oh, Bones, you are going to full speed stance out here right beside this island, and you're going to grab it. And we're going to get another one of these agents on the field for you in a second. You're going to have 4 heroes in the Ghost Army. Now, the Ghost Army will be adjusted if we can get some Cairn Wraiths or Hex Wraiths or a Mortis Engine, ideally a mix of them. And you need another Vampire Fleet Captain, so we're going to go with the Cunning one, and down to minus 106 per turn. Ouch. Not great. Not great, but I guess we're not going to be recruiting anything else with you for now. Bind it to service simply because we can't afford it. Alright, you should be able to auto-resolve that next turn. And that'll at least give us some money for our trouble. Treasure Coven, and you finally reached Altdorf to get us our first Pirate Cove. There we go, Pirate Cove established. We have the Pirate's Rest that gives us infamy, Lord Recruit rank, Hero Recruit rank, and capacity. Fantastic. But Altdorf should eventually become a money-making territory, and thus we'll be able to make money out of it. Corrupted Tavern seems completely useless. I mean, sure, we can get a little bit of vampiric corruption here and corrupt the entire places, but I'd rather have the money and corrupt the places by, you know, invading them instead. As for this, I guess we're gonna go for Picaroon's Hideout. Or the income gained from local settlements income, because eventually Altdorf, it may not be Lothern, but should give us decent cash. Alrighty, and where's Indiana Bones? We might as well move you as well. You're out here. Maybe we can set up another one of these pirate coves in Fyldorf. A decent likelihood that we'll either raise it or sack it at some point, or our ogre allies will, but who knows? Who knows? As to how far we're going and what we're doing, actually speaking of, with regards to a question in the comments as to the ultimate goal of the campaign, I was originally thinking, I forgot if I went over this last episode or not, but I did intend to, so I was thinking that Kurun would be the goal, as in the capital of Bretonnia, for 2 reasons. 1, this would be the new Vampire Coast, this massive coastline, and 2, because we have Kurun at strength rank 2 after us. They're the 2nd strongest faction in the game, so they would be a nice, challenging enemy empire to deal with. You guys let me know what you think about that campaign goal, and if there are other suggestions. Anyway, let's see what else we gotta move. Margaret Sharp. I keep forgetting who you are. Oh, right, you're one of the agents, damn it. Okay, well, my bad. Let's check diplomacy. And we'll attack shortly. What do we have here? Non-aggression pack, Mousillon, Ghost of Glen Boreal, and or to war with the Broken Axe. Huh, interesting. Well, I'm not going to touch that for a bit. Clan Scryer does not appreciate our trespassing, but at minus 2.7, that's probably... Yeah, they're not going to do that. For some reason, it costs too much. And Caravan of Blue Roses. Hey, what the heck? The mission reset. What? I thought we accepted this mission. Did I not accept this mission? I could have sworn I did. That is so strange. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter because we got it again. Tech will select a new one, and I think, because we're now using Morngul's and Syrenes, we'll grab the protection from the elements to give them melee defense and spell resistance. I'll probably try to grab protective hide and physical resistance for the Crabbies as well. Missiles and... yeah. And these will all be reasonably useful. And then we'll get back to researching the gunnery crews. Alright. Alright, anything else we've got to do? Well, there may be some building that we may want to keep a decent amount of cash left. I do want to build a structure here at Dock Carraz in the hopes of trading it for decent cash. Now, Lana the Stasher, I'd like you to go into not Parlay Stance because you can't. Let's get to Aguilata here. I guess we'll give you a point or two. Also, Lana's going to be commanding our Norscan army, which is going to be the Norscan Raiders. Plus, we'll probably put some Man-Eaters in there, like the regular Man-Eaters, not the pistol Man-Eaters. Might be a nice little army. You can have the Hunger and Invocation of Nehek. No, you know what? Invocation of Nehek and the Curse of Undeath. Though I think you already have these, don't you, Charlie? Yeah, you do. So you'll be the one casting anyway. Maybe I should have gotten the Hunger. Anyway, get another point in Invocation in the heck for you. Charlie, let's move you out. Let's pop you into encamp stance, and then let's attack the place together. Move on, then, and oh, they're going to steal one of our zombie pirate gunnery mobs. Tremendously sad, but oh well, they will die. That's a lot of spawn of Slaanesh. Could be pretty interesting to face off against, so let's see how we do. Valiant defeat, apparently, but we have plenty of zombies to throw at the enemy before the Sartosa militia have to enter combat. Now we do have to remember that these are not Aranessa buffed Sartosa militia, they're just a regular tier 1 infantry with relatively poor stats all around, so we'll have to be a lot more careful with them. Away we go. Alrighty, here we go. This could be a pretty interesting fight. I do like the masses of zombies and the Sartosans that we have available to us, though once again, we will have to be careful. Without Aranessa buffing the tier 1 Sartosans, they're, if not a liability, but they're not all that much better than the zombie units. And thus are a little bit too weak, let's say, for this stage in the game, as in past the early game. Anyway, we'll replace these guys with Sartosan mercenaries, perhaps, or, well, we could wait until they die, or I don't know what I'm going to do with this army yet. It's still probably going to be a raiding army. But anyway, and I don't mean Lana the Stasher, I mean Sharp's army. The unit that got seduced and joined the enemy is now getting hit by all of the mortars and are not having a very good time of it, so we'll just delete this unit first. I wonder if the Dead Rise could work for a unit that got... probably not. I know that occasionally you can get units back that were seduced, I think if they routed, but then the army survived, but that can't happen during... Oh, nice shot. That can't happen during settlement battles because all units are destroyed, but it would be neat if the Dead Rise could allow those units to still come back. Although somehow I doubt it. Anyway, this unit will be out of here very quickly with all that mortar fire, and of course the helping fire from our Sartosans. Not a crazy amount of damage with even 3 of them firing on him, and a single unit of zombie pirate gunnery mob with handguns being quite fragile, and taking quite a long time to go down. I don't imagine the Slaaneshi are going to be much easier than these guys are. So we may have a fight in. We may have something of a fight in it for us. Something. Words and phrases. Alrighty, well, with that, I'm just going to speed it up a little bit as our second army moves onto the field and everybody else gets into position. We're going to position our Sartosan militia like this, with the Krabbies in the center with our lords so that they can react to where they need to, and any enemies will have to run through the guns, firing at them while they try to go towards our much longer range handguns. Whether this is going to work super well or not, we'll have to wait and see. I'm going to knock down those barricades real quick for us to be able to move in when needed. And of course our mortars will be firing this entire time to annoy the enemy until they're ready to either back up or sally out. And it looks like... I'll see now, they're still milling around in there. You better make a decision. Because this doesn't seem like a good place to be. You gotta do something. Either back off or come on out. And it looks like they've chosen the more aggressive option, which we can only appreciate, and the Slaaneshi spawn are going to be the first to move out of the settlement. And they're going to hit a unit of zombie pirate gunnery mobs as well, hopefully soon. A few other units of melee zombies. Ooh, mortars, please don't... You're gonna kill off more of our own units than the enemy is. On the bright side, with these guys charging a unit like this, pretty much our entire gun line is able to fire on them. Granted, this is the very, very weak version of our gun line. This whole army, or these two armies, are very weak, being largely made up of a tier 1 unbuffed units, as we have no red line buffs for any of them on top of all that. But nonetheless, never underestimate the humble zombie, folks. Alright, and the mortars continue to fire, and it looks like another unit of those Slaaneshi spawn move out. They feel like they move really bizarrely. Ooh, nice shot from that carronade, bringing one of them down. And just as they move in, unfortunately, the halberd-wielding deckhand mobs arrive to apply a little bit of anti-large. Of course, we'll lose plenty of them to friendly fire, but they're sacrificial. And they're zombies. All of the zombie type, the basic gunnery mobs and the deckhands mobs, the ones that cost 480 to raise dead, and those are all very much sacrificial, so basically half our entire force. And the demonettes follow in, kind of similar to the sort of stacks that you tend to do with Forsaken combined with the Chaos spawn, but it's demonettes and Slaaneshi spawn here. Although, of course, they did join the fray a little bit too late, and now they don't have those Slaaneshi spawn to take a lot of hits for them, and they'll get gunned down. They still have to make their way through, or work their way through all of these units of zombies. And it's a bloody little bit of a front line here, though. The corpses are certainly stacking up, but that's music to the ears of a vampire. Alright, and the demonettes are quickly being banished, but there's plenty more in the enemy settlement. Though it looks like the mortars are doing pretty well. The devoted marauders of Slaanesh and one of the exalted demonettes have been nearly destroyed. And it looks like the enemy has charged one of its cultists out, and another unit of devoted marauders has moved on out as well. We'll start to take hits from our guns. As for our guns, we have our lines. Why move on into the settlement if the enemy is willing to come out, and while we still have bombardment? Looks like a few more enemies have charged on out of this direction as well, and we have more polearms to get in their way, so those Hellstriders ain't going nowhere. And neither are those demonettes. All the while we have bomber bats moving in, are ready to drop a few bombs, and the handgunners firing on them at the same times. Bombs away, a few of them. Oh, come on, way too many of those smashed into those buildings, guys. How did you even manage that? You'd think that the bombs would have at least a slight arc. Alright, well, the enemy keeps on moving in. It does look like this unit of polearms is in bad shape, although the bombers have now managed to get a few nicer hits in. And we'll have a few more bomber units move in as needed, if needed, though it looks like these units are at least done. Over on this side, it looks like the polearm mob is finally pretty much done. It's at about half HP and soon will begin to crumble. Another unit of Slaaneshi spawn has decided to sally out, and who will similarly be destroyed. There we go. Not much to say, sort of a reverse siege. We've made this battle for a siege against a minor settlement, sort of a defensive siege from our own perspective. But that's making me enjoy it a lot more, to be perfectly honest. Rather than the AI backing off, I do wish it had tried to charge out with all of its units. But this is still nice, and it works in our favor because, frankly, this army is very weak, and if they had all charged out at the same time, they might have been able to overwhelm and heavily damage us. Alright, once again, a nice shot from those carronades and all those guns combined, and another unit of those Slaaneshi spawn go down, though it looks like the polearms are in a crumble. 2 more units of Slaaneshi spawn, and damn do these guys have a lot of them as defenders. are wading in to fight the various polearms, and I see a few of the pistolier slash cutlass and zombie pirate gunnery mobs in there as well. Alright, hand cannons and hand gunners also trying to damage those spawn of Slaanesh. I'm sure, once again, plenty of friendly fire, but I'm also sure that we don't care about friendly fire into zombies. And our heroes join the foray as well, starting to knock down those enemy spawn. The polearm in particular should work quite well here. Though the pistol and cutlass lord does have a much higher melee attack, as the polearm lord is a more defensive lord, so who knows? Oh, but the enemy is being joined by even more units. They really want to get through here. Good for them, and oh, in fact, this may be a last hurrah as they send in all of their remaining units, other than their lord, who seems to be back there. Well, and good luck to them. Certainly they haven't made it as far previously, let's say. But the bigger holes they open in our battle line, the more area we have to fire into. And they still haven't really made it past our first few units of zombies. Endless amounts of zombies. This must be infuriating to the demons. And now bombs away as the bat bombers have been joined in, or have been joined rather, by the regular bombers, who are definitely going to be needed here. Well, maybe not needed, but will certainly be welcome. Repositioned on the bats. And we've seen just how effective all those bombs can be when used by our animated Hulk army. And I think that it's no different here, especially with the extremely lightly armored Slaaneshi units. There we go, very, very nice, and the last of the Slaaneshi spawn will fall. Will fall? Why do you never do this on cue? Come on, man. Why you gotta do this to me? Oh man, this guy's still fighting. There you go, nice poke away with that halberd there, Charlie. Well done. As sharp as your namesake, I'm sure, and with that, the battle is ours. The balance of power shifts fully in our favor, and only the enemy lord remains, who is wavering but not routed like the, or not shattered, I should say, like the rest of the army. I thought that they were supposed to start crumbling or disintegrating, or being banished rather, as soon as we had units nearby, but it looked like that didn't happen. Alrighty, well, we'll have a little bit of a fight, and ooh, that was pretty neat, actually. We summoned some zombies to start fighting the enemy herald, and then as soon as they were summoned, she cast her whip or their lash of Slaanesh right on top of the zombies. So they exploded into existence, and then immediately some of them exploded out of existence. Alright, well, zombies and Charlie here to face off against the enemy herald. And because, once again, of the lightly armored nature of the Slaaneshi, even the basic zombies should be able to whittle away at their HP. Of course, the Lord is being banished, so we could have simply backed off with all of our Lords and just let the run out the clock, but, you know, why do that when we can have a little bit of a duel? Alright, a couple more hits and the battle will be completely ours. Don't imagine with all that HP loss from the banishment to the enemy lord will last much longer. There we go, another hit knocking away all of those zombies. And they'll get back up, of course, but the enemy lord will fall. Beautiful. And with that, the battle is fully ours. Another decisive victory. I'm sure we took some damage here. I believe we sacrificed a couple of our zombies, but well worth it. Alright, very nice. 440 losses, not too bad. Certainly not a valiant defeat. Threw a couple units of zombie pirate deckhands mobs with polearms at the enemy and sacrificed them, and that was a lot fewer mobs than I was expecting. Most of the units in both of these armies will have to be deleted as they'll be joined together into one army, so frankly I also don't particularly care about the the casualties there. Victory over Slaanesh. Ooh, seduce units. Budget minus 50%, well that's just lovely. For Charlie Sharp, we don't have it on Lana, but that's okay. Weapon strength plus 18%, another Ogre Blade. I guess Charlie can hold on to it for now, though he is, once again, going to be another one of our Raider armies. Maybe we could give him the boarding crew, but I was gonna send one of the legendary admirals with a bunch of boarding crews, so not necessarily. Anyway, let's take a look at what buildings we can build with the extremely limited number, or cash rather, that we have. Ooh, settle torture. Nah, that'll piss off Lokir again. I keep getting tempted by it. Damn, how much money would they give us for peace? 12k or 11k? Honestly, not that great. I was expecting better. How much peace? How much would we get for peace with Barrackfar? 8k, eh? Huh. Actually, okay, wait. We can't tell. I was wondering how much Doc Karaz is worth to these guys, but without a building built, it is worth essentially nothing. Certainly not enough for a defensive alliance. May need to get Barak de Wazbeg for that. But 8k for peace. Well, for now I guess we're not. Alrighty, let us see if there's anything cheap but money producing that we can build. Although, wait, if we're gonna land in Miragliano next turn anyway, that's basically the entire turn's worth of money, which means we're probably better off just ignoring most of the stuff. Okay, maybe we'll upgrade Mentrada because it's cheap. Reasonably cheap, I should say. And Riveriat's, no, we'll ignore you for now, but you're gonna make plenty of money for us later. Anyway, let's skip, and Garrison Lord not moved, damage building. Which Lord's not moved? I take it that's Trusty Monford, so that's fine. Can anybody attack us? Well, I guess we're about to find out. Alright, another end turn. Let's hope not another crash. Clan Scryer have ended their... Oh no. Well, that's not great. That's not great at all. I really didn't like that trespass, did they? And this may be a problem. I would have preferred not to destroy Clan Scryer. I mean, we do have a couple of other potential little Skaven allies, so it doesn't necessarily have to be Ikit. If we are forced into fighting them. Fighting the rats is really fun. Anyway, Reichland has confederated Nordland. Grimgor's Ardboy is doing a thing. A wild hunt begins. Constructor for Trusty Monford. And there's that protection from the elements for the Morngulls and Syrenes. You, sir, wait. Treasure Coven. You're supposed to dig somewhere, but damn me if I remember where. I think it's somewhere around here. Wait, let me just... Is this one? No. This one. Wait, no. Okay, what's this one? Okay, so right here by the looks of beside Karoberg. Alright, let's try moving all the way here and then digging when we arrive. Maybe that'll do it. Alright there. Treasure hunt failed, damn, alright. I think it zoomed in right about here, so I think that's where we'll go. We were at max range anyway, so we may as well dig. Also, establish pirate cove, let's buff that up further. I want to double check that riddle, though. That's this one, right? Yeah, so... Do I actually have to... Oh, I have to open it in objectives panels? No, wait. Wait a second. Here. It is this one. Alright, it could actually be here in Glimdwaro. Kinda hard to say. Well, either way. Oh, you know what? I could probably read what the riddle says. What does it say? Not all wonders are created by the gods themselves. Some are mortal creations wherein lies what you seek. That's really very vague and unhelpful. This doesn't seem like any kind of wondrous creation. Got a little briar-type forest here. There's no landmark or anything like that. Well, we'll see when we get there. And another turn for our Picaroon's hideout to be completed as well. Nice. Anyway, Nessie. I would like to see how much Doc Karaz is worth to these guys. 32. Ooh, still not enough for that defensive alliance, but a little bit closer. We could move towards Barak de Wazbeg. They're not willing to give us as much money anymore. Oh, they wasted it on... They wasted it on buildings. We could loop around. We could just give this to them and then hope that that'll fix our public Relations, rather. I would feel like it's a better idea to attack. You know what? Let's not peace out with these guys. However, we will still move into Cult of Sigmar territory. Alright, will we be able to raid it? Let's find out. Now say go into raiding stance, and yes, go into Kelknir. And we still have to hunt down old Volky there, and, well, if he moves to Kelknir, that would be ideal, but somehow I doubt it. Anyway, Doc Karez, I guess we'll trade it as is. For relationship, if the defensive alliance won't fly, they'll give us... Ow. Will they be able to join a war with anybody? How about Cult of Sigmar? I'll do that. I don't want to do Barak Var because I'd rather take their stuff and then give it to them. Cult of Sigmar is a good option, I think. Because they're not gonna move down here, but it'll keep them friendly with everybody else. Yeah, Cult of Sigmar. Alright. And wait, what about Rapturous Excess? No. What about World Walkers? If there was another free war declaration, we may as well take it. What about South Confederacy? Nah. They did used to be allies in their defense. Alright, that's fine. As good as it's gonna get for this. And we're moving up to +6. Still not good enough, but at least hopefully they won't cancel their agreement like Scryer did. Making me nervous. Lots of rat armies could suddenly appear here. But we'll see. Maddie, you've picked up that crashy island. Let's see if we can't head you down to Myrmidons. Like so. And Valiant defeat. Ooh, that looks like a decent army. I'm willing to bet that they'll sally out with this. So there's great swords, there's knights. This is worth a fight. Alright, just sit out here, and they'll sally out. It will force a field battle. It seems like it would be the way to go, and it would be advantageous to us as well, and then we'll loop upwards towards Toranrock to grab that, and then I guess afterwards Maddie can return to these places, help out with Cult of Sigmar, and then start raiding the elves. And then probably the dwarfs as well. Alright, Harry, can you auto? Yeah, you can auto that. Alright, Parlay stands for you, sir. And away you go. And, ooh, wait, there's a little army out here. Will they be able to attack us? 14 units, eh? They can reach Gualcazar. There's no way they're taking Gualcazar with this force, though. Just auto-resolve and hope that you don't take too much damage. Did take a little bit. Occupy. Alright, and Chaos Breakers swell for you, and then go back into no stance. You guys... what do we have at Bone Hills? Oh, quite a bit. Huh. This might be a nice little field battle. You know what? Bloated corpse. And since I wasted one, a big papa, you're gonna come back and then hope and that you do some damage here. If these guys sally out with all of those seekers, they've got heart seekers, this would actually be pretty tough. As our army would be pretty basic. I think we'll have to give some deckhands mobs. Oh, we can only raise one. Well, that's a shame. I mean, of the polearm variety. Okay, I guess one and then... and these ones. Then, Charlie, you're the one that acquired your... victory over Slaanesh. Yes, which means you, sir, are going to be the one to go here to Largos. Like so. And you will begin building siege stuff, but I'm willing to bet that they'll sally out. You, Lana, are going to reinforce, and oh, you can raise some stuff as well. Yeah, just raise some basic garbage. There you go. And just to stand in the way of the enemy while they attack. A little bit of cost, but, you know, these armies are full of basic garbage, so they do need it. And then camp right here, and then you two will play the waiting game. Charlie, I would like you to get the hunger, though, for this particular battle. Pointless to get supernatural horror, as demons are not susceptible to it. Hunger for you, and drown dead for you. Alright. A couple potentially very nice battles next turn. Then we'll grab reinforced carcasses or... protective hide. They're both fine. Let's go for reinforced carcasses first. And then back to gunnery crews. We still have 13 turns of the Prophet. Okay, so we're still okay. Gang Presser Sea Legs. You... Alright, move to Miragliano. And let's see how much you reduce this cost. 6,000 still way too expensive, but oh wellity. And I guess you're just gonna sit here for a little while. Oh, actually would like to see, yeah, you can raise a gunnery crew or a boarding crew here. Deck gunners. A decent amount of stuff, in fact. When we have the cash, you'll probably have to raise an army for us. Lana is good. Oh, Bones McDonald, you're about to get some cash for us, so go here. And loot the carcass. And auto-resolve this garbage, and take the money, because you'll heal up anyway. Nice. And then that'll give us, what, like 5,000 plus 7,000, hopefully? 6,000 plus 7,000. Very nice. Gotta keep those islands. Alright, then you're gonna move up this way. The rest of your heroes will move forward with you, and then we're gonna move you to trade units with the army of Mr. Half-Mast. Alright, all of you away. Gotta double check that there are no islands on the way that we'll have to make a little bit of a detour to grab. Can't really see what's going on down here. There very well could be. Who can still move? You can move a little bit. But your campaign sight range isn't really enough. Wait, actually no, we can see everything because we have the thing. Yeah, we can see the islands even if we haven't been there before, so there was no need to bother to uncover the fog, so we're okay. Also, I believe somebody asked if the Galleon's graveyard is here, and I don't believe that it is. None of this actually exists, it would appear. I don't know what's going on over there. I'm kind of tempted to send a unit over there just to see it all. And just out of curiosity. Hopefully the game doesn't get angry and crash again over it. Anyway, Trusty. Ooh, you can upgrade your next officer's cabin. Yes, please do so, sir. And I should keep an eye on Bones for doing the same shortly. Yeah, next turn. Alright, and I believe everybody else other than Indiana Bones has moved. Boney, I guess you can establish another Picaroon's head at 4.6k. Oh my lord. Okay, you know what? I think we'll have to wait on that. It probably won't pay enough for itself. Wait, if you level up... Oh, that's the only thing you can do, too. I'm gonna wait. With the amount of money we have, it's not... Yeah. I don't trust it. Let's give it a little. Musion, Corsairs of Spite, you are against Reichland and the Continental Exarchate. How do you feel about these guys and these guys? You're both fine. Might be a reason to ally with these guys, or at least trade with them, even if they die eventually. Let's do it. Let's do just the trade agreement, not necessarily the non-aggression. No need to lean too heavily into it, I would think. And I believe we're good. Skullcrag wants peace, Barrackvar still wants peace, but tempting though it may be. I think we need them. We need them to get friendly with the ogres, so I don't see how that's gonna be escapable. Anyway, I believe we're good to go, so there should be another battle ready for us and the end turn. Unsigned skill points, building upgrades available, damage building outpost, and... Oh, let's end the turn. Wait, did I level up Maddie? I did, but I didn't level up Henrietta. Alright, Henrietta. I don't really like to use Spiteful Shot, mostly because it costs a lot of mana for what it does. Tidecall isn't particularly useful in an army that has few melee units. As well, I guess we're going to go through Evasion and start moving towards Kraken's Pull to get that slowdown action. Anyway, end turn. Let's see, Settlement Besiege, Myrmidons, and Largos. One of these guys, or both of these guys, should attack us. I'm 99% sure Myrmidons will. A little bit less sure about the Rapturous Excess, but we'll see. Oh, no, they will indeed, and it's a valiant defeat, and this army will be a lot more frightening in the field, so I'm excited to give this battle a try. Away we go, hopefully these armies will survive.
Yes, Lord!
Alrighty, here we go. And ooh, snowy battle. That should be pretty nice as well. Anyway, I am pretty darn excited for this particular fight. There's a pretty big disparity in troop quality going on, and the last time there was a massive disparity in troop quality was when we fought the Bleak Coast Buccaneers and came very close to being overwhelmed. The very same thing can happen here, as both our armies together are made up of more than 90%, I'd say, Tier 1 units, and the entirety of the enemy army is made up of Tier 2 and Tier 3s. Exalted Demonettes, lots of those spawns, some Elite Cavalry, I saw some Secret Chariots, and I believe some Hellflayers as well, moving in out there, so yeah, I'll have to keep an eye on that. Anyway, it looks like the enemy is going to send in those Secret Chariots first, but we'll try to intercept them with Charlie here to apply his Cavalry Bane to them and annoy them as best he can, plus the handgunners will begin to knock him out. Foolishly, the AI does have a tendency to move these things unsupported on occasion, and at least that unit will be destroyed before it can do anything. Not the only unit around, however, as the enemy Heartseekers and Hellstriders move in together to try to fight or to try to destroy our flank. And we'll charge and then back off a little bit, though fortunately our second force has arrived. We're definitely going to have to sacrifice a lot of our units of zombies in order to allow the rest of our non-zombie units to A, survive, and B, to do damage. Looks like the enemy's getting some nice air on our zombie units. Kind of a reversal for me comparing to my Bretonnia campaign. But oh well. Sometimes it's nice to be on the receiving end as well, Slaneshi Eagle. Anyway, the enemy Hellstriders and the Heartseekers are starting to be in trouble, or specifically the Heartseekers, as we've been trying to focus them down a lot more, and due to the fact that they are much more deadly. And we've also got our Sartosan militia on the field, who are moving in to hit the enemy in the flank, rather than join the melee. Though they are going to take a long time to knock units out like this. Of course, the other enemy units have begun to move in as well. The Demonettes and the Spawn of Slaanesh are working together nicely, going to get those bombs down on those Demonettes as best we can from two sides as the Bomber Bats move in, and the Ground Bombers are already arcing their shots. Very nice. Mounts power is in our favor, though we do still have to be careful. We are being able to hold back a decent amount of the enemy units with our sacrificial zombies so far. But it's only a matter of time until some of the enemy break through. Luckily for us, they don't have a lot in the way of super elite, super heavy units like Chosen and stuff. So at least we won't have to worry about that sort of thing. But this flank is a little bit more in trouble than the other flank is, unfortunately, as the enemies have, to some degree, made their way through. We have, unfortunately, had to sacrifice our bloated corpse to heavily damage a unit of cavalry on the side. And I believe the unit of cavalry was actually destroyed, or at least what was left of it, to get banished later, but there's still far too many units for these poor Sartosans and the zombies that remain on this flank to hold. Center line's looking a lot better though, with our handgunners focusing down enemy Slaaneshi spawn, while the polearms and various melee units hold them at bay. And our units of Sartosan militia firing into the enemy from the sides and the back as best they can. Nice little hectic battle we got going here. And this is generally why field battles are more fun than defensive battles, or siege battles. Minor or major sieges, as the AI just can't really deal with them very well. Mounts power continues to creep in our favor. There are still plenty of spawn. It's taking them a long time to come down. These militia have been firing on them for basically since they've arrived onto the battlefield at the 1 minute mark, so probably entered the fray at near minute 2. But their damage is so low that it's taking too long. Once again, I'm missing those Aranessa buffs that they would normally have, but it's okay, we will overcome. And Aranessa's army wouldn't normally have a giant pile of zombies to rely upon like this one does, so Alright, looks like some of the demonettes have managed to charge through our lines of zombies and Sartosans to get into the fray with one of our units of handgunners, and I do believe this unit of handgunners has begun to crumble and will shortly be destroyed. This is one of those things that we were concerned with, an enemy cultist trying to chase down our lord, but we're going to move away so that we can start working on the enemy spawn with the lord instead. Zombies still in absolutely massive piles, at least when summoned, trying to hold off as many enemy units as they can. And the balance of power is nearly fully ours. In fact, just like that, it does go fully ours. The battle is ours. The enemy's mortal units have routed. I guess technically the spawn aren't demons, but they are unbreakable, so we do have to destroy them, each and every one of them. Would love to see a little bit of a contest between some animated Hulks and some of these spawn. Maybe I'll put some animated Hulks in this army as well. They are cheap, so that could make the army considerably more effective due to the fact that it is a raiding army. Certainly a thought. Alright, keep breaking them apart, that we can see plenty of those handgun and handgunner shots, or hand cannon and handgunner shots getting the zombies as well. But there's only so many bullets these spawn can take. And man, what a bloody battle. In fact, both of this battle and the miner settlement battle have been heckin' bloody. Absolutely love it. And there we go, finally the last of the spawn goes down and the battle is ours. We can see that our army has been heavily diminished. Most of the zombies of the first force have been destroyed, with a couple of exceptions. Our Sartosans do survive, but that was the plan, similar to what we do with Aranessa's army, wherein we sacrifice or we used to do, sacrifice the zombies first so that the Sartosan mortal units can survive. And there we go, take the arm from the enemy cultist to bringing them down, and I should believe that that is the end of the chase. I think by far the most damage done by one of our Sartosan militia was this one with 114 kills, but that's only because it was chasing for pretty much the entire battle a single unit of marauders. And the other Sartosan militia didn't do near as much damage. Regardless, it doesn't matter that much, they're still tier 1 unit and they still served us well in bringing us this Pyrrhic victory. Ooh, alrighty, that one was certainly a little bit tougher. Granted, primarily tier 1 zombies lost, as in the garbage zombies that we're always willing to lose, but yeah, the cull is working. Still not enough to transfer all into one army, but certainly getting there. A little bit disappointed that we only get 200 money for this as ransom captives. I guess we'll have to assimilate them. I'm almost tempted to do share the loot instead, but it's relatively useless for these armies because they have no elites to level up anyway. Just assimilate, I guess. Alright, and we'll be able to take Largo's next turn. Clan Gritak. It is not like our war with Skull Crag, which wants a non-aggression pact. I have to wonder how our other allies feel about this particular Skaven clan. You don't like them a crazy amount? Ooh, because of the treaties with Clan Moors and Red Fangs, likely meaning we will have to, or will be forced into a fight with Clan Moors, or at the very least our allies will. And yeah, Moors is disliked by both the Blue Roses and by Arcane's faction, so that's going to be a decline for me. And the Southern Confederacy will indeed, or South Confederacy will indeed attack us. This one's actually auto-resolvable because the game... Close victory, eh? Will this one be worth fighting? Maybe. I mean, on the one hand, we've seen the destruction of the basic Imperial troops quite a fair few times now, but this is On the other hand, this is one of the more advanced armies we've seen. I'll think about it, but I'll have to think about it for next time, as we are most certainly out of time this time. I'm going to call the episode here with the question of this battle up for debate for a next episode. Otherwise, we will hunt down Volkmar. I saw over the end turn that he has moved in range of Aranessa, so there will be a nice showdown between those two, and whatever else we can get out of the battles out of the Slaaneshi and the Norskins. Particularly excited for more Slaaneshi battles with those basic unit armies. They're not particularly effective in the sense that they're, well, cheap and tier 1, but they are fun to watch. Anyway, more Aranessa to come, so stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments, especially to Threshold if you want the hour episode. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.